Back on the Marine ship, Luffy, Hancock, and Goku are sweeping over the waves towards Impel Down. Luffy had successfully gotten in undetected and Goku was successful in getting on board as a prisoner. Now they had to wait a couple of days until they reached their destination. Let that be a lesson, dimwit, Hancock said to the grounded Marine. My meal should weigh at least 100 kilograms, anything less and I petrify you all. Do you want that to happen? Hancock said while she arched her back backwards, lifting her chin and pointing down on the grounded Marine. No, 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 no. Our deepest apologies, it will not happen again, the Marine shouted to Hancock. Eat up, Luffy. You're going to need all your strength if you want to get your brother back. Hancock said while presenting him a vast amount of food in front of him. Luffy started to drool and thought he was in food heaven. Man, this stuff is delicious. And the Sea King ham just makes everything taste even better, Luffy said while stuffing his face with food. Hancock was sitting in the corner thinking about something, not really paying attention. Hey, what are you doing in the corner? Aren't you going to eat? This Sea King ham is crazy good, Luffy said with food still in his mouth. I'm fine, really. Somehow I feel satisfied already, Hancock said. She was thinking how Goku was doing. Was he all right? She wanted to go into the prison cage and see for herself. Goku, on the other hand, was just doing fine. He was just practicing some meditation that he had learned from his old teacher Kami, and it was a way to keep eternal peace, to keep that person one with the world. He would meditate day and night in his base form. Every day the Marines would give him a small portion of food compared to what Hancock and Luffy were getting, but he didn't really mind. After a while, Goku felt cramped in the small cage and started to do some training. Every time a Marine would walk in to see how he was doing, Goku would stop and crawl up in a ball in the corner pretending he hadn't moved. Stupid pirate filth, you think this is bad? Just wait until we get to Impel Down. You're going to rot there, a Marine smirked before leaving Goku alone. Once Goku sensed the Marine was gone, he went back to his training. Phew! I'm stuffed, said Luffy, rubbing his bloated stomach. That was so good. Hancock had a horrified face because she realized that Luffy was talking out loud. Luffy, please don't forget that you're a stowaway, Hancock said, trying to quiet Luffy down. Someone knocked on the door 3 times. Hancock, is there someone else there with you? A Marine said, knocking on the door. Are you sure you heard correctly, Junior Lieutenant? One of the Marines asked. Yes, I definitely heard few. I am stuffed from inside, doesn't sound like an empress would be likely to say. Immediately the door opened and Hancock stepped out with a tray full of empty plates. Phew! I'm stuffed. All the Marines had their mouths wide open in shock that the empress actually said it. Take these plates from the meal that I ate and I want this amount of food 5 times a day, Hancock said. The Marines were in shock. That much? But we'll run out of food in no time, they shouted. Do I look like I care? Hancock said casually before heading back into the room. She's the worst. But so beautiful, the Marines all said. 6 days remained until Ace's execution, and with Whitebeard's mass destruction on destroying Marine ships, the Marine headquarters are now even more on edge. Every powerful soldier that has made a name for themselves is now arriving to serve under the name Justice. As for the Shichibukai, they were discussing their own battle conference. For days have passed by and the ship has finally arrived at Impel Down. Hancock, we've arrived! One of the Marines shouted from the other side of the door. There are more battleships than there were from the Snail Call, Luffy said. Quickly, we have to go now, Luffy, Hancock said, and Luffy nodded and hid himself inside Hancock's robes. Hancock walked out to meet the other soldiers and was waiting for someone to escort her to where she is needed. Marines were coming out and were dragging a weak and quiet Goku down the ship and threw him onto the ground and were laughing. Hancock was about to run and pick up Goku, but he glared at her, motioning his head, telling her don't. Take this trash down in the prison, a general said before slapping Goku in the face, causing Goku to fly backwards a little. He didn't even try to fight back, he just tried to get back up. Ha ha ha! Look at this wimp, thinking he can take on our general, a Marine said before he kicked Goku in the stomach and pinned him down, beating up Goku until he started to bleed. Hancock couldn't take it anymore and had to look away from seeing her beloved being beaten to a pulp. Enough, the general said. He's learned his lesson, now take him away. The Marines picked up the bloodied Goku, who was still remaining quiet, and was escorted away. It was 33 more hours until Ace's public execution. Goku was tossed into a cell that was next to Ace but didn't know since he had never seen him before. Goku was silent until he heard a voice next to him. "So, what are you in here for?" the voice asked him. Goku didn't know what to really say because he feared that if he revealed his plan, everything would go down the drain from there. I was just fighting some people called Shichibukai? Hoping that it was an acceptable answer. You fought a Shichibukai? Humph, not a bad man, not bad at all, the voice said while chuckling. Goku was about to ask the voice a question when Hancock, led by some people, entered the room. Portgas D. Ace. You have a visitor. A Marine commander shouted. Goku was shocked to hear that his cellmate next door was Luffy's brother the entire time. Boa Hancock noticed Goku and stayed quiet until she turned and looked at Ace. What do you want with me? Ace asked her. I have no business with you. I just want to see you for myself. The man who will be the trigger for the battle in which I am set to participate. Hancock said calmly. After having her conversation with Ace, she turned around. I have finished my business here, Hancock said while walking towards the other direction. Once everyone left, Goku asked Ace what she had told him because he didn't understand entirely. My brother, Ace said, he's here. Goku smiled slightly at the sound of that, knowing that his friend made it in. Alright, now I gotta wait until Luffy comes to help Ace so I can go find the strongest fighters. Goku thought Luffy was running around trying to find Ace down on each level of torture but couldn't find him anywhere until he was notified by someone that Ace was locked away in the lowest part of the chambers. He started off in that direction. Hang on, Ace, I'm coming, Luffy thought to himself. 33 hours had passed and it was time for Ace's execution. Goku was worried now. Where is Luffy? I thought he was going to appear a few hours ago, Goku said. Ace was now being dragged off and was going to main fort to be executed. Goku wanted to stop them, but with his malnutrition and his strength depleted, he was helpless to do so. After an hour, Luffy comes crashing through the door with a bunch of people behind him to save Ace. No! I was too late! Luffy screamed, punching a wall, causing a crater to appear. The others were giving food through the cell for Goku to eat and regain his strength. Thanks, Goku said. He broke his sea stone cuffs and kicked the sea stone cell out of its hinges. Everyone except Luffy was shocked to see someone break a sea stone material because they all thought he was a devil fruit user. Before anyone could ask Goku if he was a devil fruit user, Luffy asked where the nearest exit was. They blocked off every exit so we couldn't escape, someone said. Damn it! Luffy yelled angrily. Goku grabbed Luffy's shoulder and smiled. Do you trust me? Goku asked calmly. Everyone was grabbing hold of the next person, linking arms and holding onto Goku, who put his 2 fingers on his forehead. He was trying to find a source of energy to I.T2, and when he found a massive key energy around one place, he I.T them out of the prison. Goku transported them to Marineford where the execution was beginning. Luffy and everyone ran towards the battlefield to see Whitebeard and his crew were there as well. The battle was close and everyone knew that it was impossible to avert it. While everyone was getting into place, Goku flew into the air trying to hide momentarily until he thought it was necessary to attack. Both sides were not backing down. The pressure was so tense all it would take to push it over the edge was one gunshot. Boom! The battle had begun. Left and right pirates and Marines were facing off 1-on-1. It was a ferocious battle that made Goku even more excited about wanting to battle the strongest people there. Immediately, Goku darted his eyes left and right, seeing Boa Hancock twirl around, kicking every pirate and Marine that stood in her way. He grinned as he saw his friend Hancock gracefully and elegantly take down everyone as if they weren't there. Goku turns to see his friend Luffy running, trying to save his brother, but is immediately stopped by a couple of Marines. Get the hell out of my way! Luffy swats the Marines off to the side and starts running towards the stage where Ace was held. Okay, I guess now's the best time to go, Goku thought. Goku starts flying down towards the ground where hundreds if not thousands of Marines were. He slammed onto the ground, causing a small but devastating earthquake. Goku disappears, then reappears next to every Marine, hitting their pressure points, causing them to go limp. He was doing this for a while until he noticed a guy with cigars in his mouth charging at him. His name was Smoker. Goku jumps into the air, dodging the sword attack. As Goku was coming down, he tried hitting the man, but his punch went through Smoker. "What? Why didn't you get damaged?" Goku asked. "Fool, you can't beat me because I'm made out of smoke. Your weak attacks are pathetic, and nothing can hurt me." Smoker smirked as he relentlessly started attacking Goku. "If I don't find out his weakness soon, I'll miss my chance to take on the strongest fighters," he says. Goku was flying back, dodging every attack with ease, but what really Goku was doing was sensing a weakness in his body and found it. As Smoker was raising his sword up to slam it down on Goku, he felt an immense amount of pain around his stomach. He looked down to see Goku's fist connecting with him, but his fist had a white aura around it. "What did you do?" Smoker said as he fell on his knees looking up at Goku. "You said that my attacks were weak, so I had the clever idea of condensing part of my power into my fist, and it looks like my plan worked," Goku said. Smoker thought to himself, "Does this man have Busashoku Haki?" Before he could ask, he went limp when Goku hit his pressure point. "Sorry, I would like to battle you again, but I'm in a hurry to find the strongest fighters now," Goku said as he dashed away. Goku reached the center of the plaza, and he was floating high above the ground. Now, however, he was in plain sight of the execution stand and was lowering himself closer to it. The two old men on top of the platform looked up and gasped at the spiky-haired man. Many of the Marines down below looked up and saw him as well. "Hi there," Goku says as he waved at the man in the seagull hat. "Who are you?" "You are not one of Whitebeard's subordinates," the man stated. The other gray-haired man that was sitting next to Ace stood up. "My name is Son Goku. I'd like to ask you not to kill Ace." The two men stared straight ahead at the spiky-haired man in disbelief. "I know he's probably done some bad things, but give him a second chance. Everyone deserves." Suddenly Goku felt a presence right next to him and backflipped away in midair to dodge. He was just in time as a bright light appeared where he just was, and when it formed, it was a man with his leg outstretched as if he'd just kicked. That was no normal kick. I could barely even see it, Goku thought as he stared at the man in yellow. "Kizaru, the fleet admiral, started. Oh, you dodged my kick. This one's scary," his voice dragged as he spoke. The Saiyan stared for a second at him before turning back to the seagull man. "Please, we could stop all this fighting now if you just allow this man to live. Look at all the people who care about him," Goku said as he pointed back with a smile at the war going on behind him. Goku turned back to the man floating in front of him, but suddenly the guy was gone again. Goku was trying to follow his movements and raised an arm to block a kick that was coming from his right. He did not expect the amount of power that went into it, though, and was shot across the plaza and onto the ground. "Oof," said Goku as he shook his head and sat up like he never got hit in the first place. "Lucky punch," Goku said as that made them all stare at him in disbelief. "He's fast, but I'm faster," Goku thought. The Admiral appeared in front of him, swinging his leg, but Goku had disappeared right in front of him. Within the second, Goku was directly behind him and lashed out with a fist, but it went straight through the man. At first, Goku thought he had killed the Marine just doing his job, but then he realized his fist was surrounded by light, not blood. Goku propelled himself backwards and grinned. "That's an amazing power you have there." Admiral Kizaru stared back at the newcomer with slight confusion and amazement. "Who are you?" Kizaru asked. "I'm Goku," he told the Admiral. The Saiyan raised his fists and concentrated his ki towards them. "If a normal punch won't work, what about one coated in my own energy?" Goku thought. Both of his fists became covered in a light blue veil, and he shot towards the Admiral, throwing a left punch again at the man's chest. Not expecting the punch to work again, Kizaru was lifting his arm and was charging some light energy at the end of it to shoot at Goku. But Kizaru's face flushed with pain and surprise. The punch shot the Admiral flying into a building, creating a giant hole in the side. Kizaru came out of the giant hole looking down at Goku. "This man is fighting me. How can he use Haki so easily?" It didn't even seem like any hockey I've ever seen before. It must have been a form of armament. Whatever it was, it is going to be a pain to fight him, Kizaru thought. As he was about to jump out, Goku instantly disappeared and reappeared in front of Kizaru and uppercut him, knocking him back into the large hole, but this time causing him to fall unconscious. Goku was starting to get really excited with the amount of strong people he was facing. He hoped that when he reached the other Shichibukai, they would be just as tough as he heard. Goku wasn't paying attention when a swordsman was coming his way, but it wasn't any ordinary swordsman, it was the Shichibukai Mihawk. Goku soon saw the man coming and tried to dodge, but it was too late. The slash from the sword had connected on Goku's arm. It surprised Mihawk that it didn't cut deep through Goku's arm like it had always to any other person before. Holy shit, that was too close. Goku said, holding his arm to see if there were any life-threatening injuries. When he found there was none, he looked up to see not Mihawk alone, but there were now 5 other people who were with him. Goku knew then and there that they were the Shichibukai that he had heard from Hancock telling him before. "Just who are you?" a man with pink feathers and sunglasses asked him. Goku just looked at them, observing them, just wondering what made them the strongest people in the world. "Boy, did you not hear me?" I asked. "Who the hell are you?" Doflamingo said again, this time annoyed. "I'm Son Goku, and I heard that you 6 were called Shichibukais, am I right?" Goku asked. "That's right, and if you know what's good for you, you may as well start leaving because we are the strongest people that this world has ever seen," Doflamingo yelled. Goku just grinned. "Then do you think the 6 of you can fight me? I just want to test your strength, that's all, but be warned, I'm not going to go easy on you," Goku said, which left the 6 Shichibukai in shock and then started laughing. "You want to fight us at the same time? Honestly, how stupid can one guy be?" Doflamingo said while laughing. "Please let me handle this," he told the other 5, and they just nodded. Doflamingo dashed towards Goku, going to strike him in the face, but Goku just disappeared, causing him to stumble a second. All the Shichibukai were looking and wondering where Goku had gone until they heard a voice that answered their question. "Like I said before, I wasn't going to go easy on you, so you better come at me with full power," Goku said while facing away from the Shichibukai in a badass way. The Shichibukai looked at each other and then at Goku. Goku turned around to see the war had stopped fighting and every soul on that island was watching him challenging the Shichibukai's head-on. Even Whitebeard couldn't help himself but smile a little at Goku's bravery in taking the Shichibukai's head-on. A visual Den Mushi was recording this moment. The 6 Shichibukai and Goku were on the ground getting ready to versus each other. But Hancock wasn't accepting this idea of Goku throwing away his life just to fight the Shichibukai. She ran in front of Goku, holding out her hands, blocking him from going any farther. Goku didn't show any emotions, but inside he was angry because of what the Marines had become. He thought that the world government was supposed to be fair and equal. Instead, it's corrupted and it's full of people who take advantage of others. "Get out of the way, Hancock," Goku said in a stern voice, trying to walk past her, but she pushed him back, which caught the Saiyan off guard and shocked everyone, wondering why she was trying to stop him from challenging the Shichibukai. "I said get out of the way, Hancock," Goku said, his voice raised a little. "No," Hancock said while keeping her hands in the air. "What?" Goku said, his tone was getting angrier. "I said no," Hancock said, still trying to keep Goku away from the Shichibukai. "Get out of my way, Hancock," Goku roared. Everyone winced at the sheer strength Goku possessed. Even his shout had caused the Shichibukai's spines to tingle. "I won't let you get killed just because you want to take on those people," Hancock said while pointing towards the Shichibukai. "You're not going to stop me," Goku said in a dangerous voice. He was going to walk past her again, but this time, Hancock had slapped Goku hard on the face. This made Goku fall down and momentarily be in a state of shock, seeing his friend had actually slapped him in the face. Goku saw that Hancock had a pained expression when she had to slap him. "If you want to get to them, you're going to have to kill me," Hancock said with tears in her eyes, threatening to spill down on her face, but she was exhausted and breathing hard. "If you want to fight them this badly, then you're going to have to destroy me," Hancock screamed. Goku's eyes momentarily turned to normal and then back to a cold stare. Goku started getting up and then slowly extended his arm out towards Hancock. His hand then started glowing a ball of energy, and he pointed it to Hancock, who was shocked to see he was going to actually fire it at her. Hancock closed her eyes, awaiting her destruction at the hand of her beloved. But instantly Goku dashed towards Hancock and hugged her, which made the Empress, "I had caused you so much pain, Hancock. I know this must be hard, but please let me fight them," Goku said softly. Hancock turned his face towards hers, and she started to tear up a little. "But Goku, what will Luffy and I do if you die?" "We need you, Goku." "I need you." She muffled the last part while she buried her face in his arms. Goku just picked up her face with his finger and smiled at her. "You won't have to worry about me ever again, Hancock, 'cause know this, my passion to keep everyone I love alive is what keeps me going, and I'm not going to fail now just because of them," Goku said, pointing to the Shichibukai. This put a little smile on Hancock's face. "Then will you promise me something, Goku?" Hancock said to Goku, "What is it?" Goku asked, "Promise me you'll come back to us?" Hancock said to Goku, which made him grin. "That's a promise that I can definitely keep," Goku said, smiling. "Then here's my token of appreciation," Hancock said as she kissed Goku on the cheek, which made her turn red and put a big smile on her face. Goku grinned and had let go of Hancock to face the Shichibukai, who were confused as to what happened. "Sorry about that," Goku said while cracking his neck. "Now, where were we?"